Hey guys, welcome back to Medicine Deconstructed. I'm your host, Dr. Jay Rutland. You know, a lot of us grow up throughout our lives with our family members and we really think nothing of it. And it's pretty funny when you actually realize that your paths not only cross in blood, but they also cross with mission. We're gonna talk about what my brother's main mission is right now, and I actually have the opportunity of a lifetime. I get to interview my own older brother. Stay tuned. This is one of the first times where I actually get to meet you, talk to you one-on-one as my older brother. You are a policy individual. You are an individual who really has a love for public policy and how that public policy has an effect on society as a whole. My first question to you as your younger brother is, where does that love stem from?
Granddad was or at least he ran for supervisor. Aunt Ginger was an editorial writer. Mom ran the, assembly in the California State Legislature. Our Thanksgiving conversations were heated. It was serious business at every family outing.
I didn't listen. That's why I went into medicine. Yeah. You went into policy. Speaking of heated, what we're talking about heating are solvents that become vapor that children are smoking. Tell me why that issue is important to you.
My dad died of lung cancer, and he used to smoke Newports. So that's number one, and I think it's an issue that's kind of, especially for Black and brown folks. It's just kind of one of those things where when you look at the data and you see who is targeted, and also the disparity in consequences from addiction, it's clear as day. But I think that the other side, big tobacco, has so much money that they are able to kind of convolute the issue. At the end of the day, it's not rocket science. Who do you know that uses flavored tobacco? Do you know any adults that use flavored tobacco?
You say they make it for children. Be explicit. Like, this is how it's been planned to be for kids.
Their argument is African Americans use menthol cigarettes. 80% of us that smoke menthol cigarettes. That's flavored tobacco.
They call it cultural.
Right.
That's offensive. Unless part of your culture is watching your dad die at 52 of lung cancer. It's menthols are not cultural. They're just not. But there's people that look like you and I that show up to these council meetings, and those words come out of their mouth.
You are 5 years away from outliving your father.
Yeah, and it's terrifying. It is terrifying. I get terrified all the time. I'm like, man, because I did smoke, but I'll take the hit on that. That's my fault.
Tell your story. So what was the first time you smoked?
I had a slumber party, and all the boys from the class came over and spent the night at my house. And, my mom took us to like Round Table Pizza or something. And then we got to go get some candy or something at like the Walgreens type store or whatever was next to there. And my buddy, I remember, stole a pack of cigarettes. We went home, Mom went to sleep, and we snuck outside. And I remember I took like one puff, and it was, it was like a Marlboro. And I was like, blah. So, that was that, right? Like not until, I was playing football in college, and 10 years later, did I do, it was dip, it was, flavored tobacco, chew. My buddy Joey was like, oh man, this is the greatest, it tastes so good, and I was lucky enough to marry someone that it was just not going to put up with that, and it was her way or the highway. So here I am, tobacco free. I'm actually lucky because Mom smoked.
Yeah, she did.
Mom smoked when we were growing up.
I'm convinced to this day that if Mom never smoked with me in the womb, I would be
6 inches taller?
6 inches, and I'd be on an NBA bench.
Stop it.
Probably the assistant coach, right? Because I would have retired a couple years ago after a nice 14-year NBA career. I mean, my lungs collapsed, man. I mean, like I was on a vent with chest tubes in. I still got the scar as a result of being premature, which was directly related to her smoking every single day, being pregnant with me. And she will tell you that I have ADD as a result of that, like all those things. And she'll tell you, she'll look in the camera and she'll be just like this. Mom, did you smoke when you were pregnant with me? Yep. Every single day. That's what she will say.
But even she quit.
She did quit. She did quit. She did quit.
Well,
And look, I get it. Like, you know, Big Tobacco is like, well, people are drinking alcohol. Like, I 100% get it. I just want people to know what they're doing to their body. Like, that's all. Like, I just want people to understand the pathophysiology of poison, right? And that's it. That's all I ask for. I asked, Fauci was sitting in the same chair you're sitting in. I was talking to Fauci, and I asked him about SARS-CoV-2. And I said, why did we spend so much time telling people to go get vaccinated, go get vaccinated, go get vaccinated, but we didn't spend any time educating them on the immunology of getting infected and the immunology of getting vaccinated? And you know what he said? He looked me straight in my eye, and he said, I don't know.
but this makes me feel good, you know, that I'm kind of here fighting, you know, with the rest of the coalition to ban something that is an absolute and obvious detriment to the health of every kid in the state of California and across the country and across the world. And this is how you do it, you know, little by little.
You know, it's so interesting because I thought that you would talk about your dad. And I remember the day that your dad died. And I don't know if you know this, but I was at Billy's house and I picked up the phone and he said, hey, you know, what's going on? And I just remember stating, I said, you know, we're thinking my brother's father just passed. And, you know, what did he pass of? Lung cancer. And that moment has stuck in my head throughout my entire training process. And the crazy thing is it's brought us both right here, overlooking Santa Ana, talking about a flavored tobacco ordinance. Thanks for watching the interview of my brother. Again, my brother is somebody that I idolized growing up when he was catching touchdown passes for Christian Brothers High School, and I was playing in the field next to him as a young boy. He's also somebody that I've come to admire, and to be honest with you guys, talking to him about his father and his experience with his father dying of lung cancer, that was the first time I've actually ever asked him about how he felt. It's interesting that our paths cross with lung cancer and not wanting tobacco to be sold really anywhere, because we understand the consequences of those things. As my brother approaches his father's age, he's a little scared, he's a little terrified, because he knows that his father was susceptible to something like lung cancer as a result of his tobacco exposure. I hope you guys were able to learn what it is that keeps families together, what it is that motivates families to keep going, and I hope you saw the love that I have for my older brother and the love that he has for me. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for joining Medicine Deconstruction. I'm just here to arm you with information and love. Please come back next week for some more ammunition.